I'm going to say the terrible mom thing that I cannot be the only one that feels about sending your child to daycare when they're not feeling well, right? Okay, so my son was up all night coughing. He got a cold last week at daycare. It's our first fall winter going to daycare. So I know he's going to get sick this year, right? He's not sick. He doesn't have a fever. But I know that if I had the cough that he has, I would not want to go anywhere. I would want to stay home. And my husband's home today because it's Veterans Day. So I was like, why don't we just keep him home? And that's the logical, good mom side of my brain, right? But then the part of my brain that has to pay bills is I'm like, that's $120 we're throwing out the window when he could technically go to daycare and not get sent home. And it's really hard to not think like that because daycare is so expensive. We only send him 2 days a week and we pay almost $1,000 a month. It's crazy, right? But I know he would love it. I know he'd have fun, but I know he'd be having to get his nose wiped constantly. I know he wouldn't nap great. I know he wouldn't eat great. So I know he'd be grumpy. I know that he'd get home after daycare and be exhausted and grumpy because all of those things, right? But I also know he'd love to go play with his friends, but it's also not fair to have him infect his friends. And it's just hard to not put a dollar sign on it. And you have to kind of pull yourself back and be like, okay, yeah, but he's a person. And if I felt like that person, I wouldn't want to go to school. I'd want to sit my butt on the couch and watch Minions. And that's what he's doing right now. And I'm just like, but we're literally just setting money on fire because he technically can go, right? He doesn't have a fever. But it's not fair to him and it's not fair to your friends or his friends, who I guess by extension are my friends. But you're just, it's so hard to look at daycare and not to see a money sign because I feel like that is all we talk about when it comes to daycare. So then that is what I've been socially conditioned to think of as daycare. And I feel like I just burned $120, but it's the right thing to do. Does this make sense?